Hi everyone, welcome to Tech Down Over. I'm Riggs and I'm joined today by my good friend from Down Under, Jeff Blanchard. Hey Jeff, how are you?
Good, thank you, Rick. And I must apologise first off that Harold and I did a show last week and we forgot to mention that you weren't there at all. We just remembered after the show.
That's okay, because
so
nobody
back.
knows I exist. That's okay. Well, hey, we got a great guest today. He's back for, 20th visit. He's been on quite a few times. Christian Gracz is joining us, and here we go. Trying to wipe the water off of me. Hi.
Right.
Hello.
Hey, Christian, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, and you?
I'm very good. It's good to see you again. I missed you last time. I was actually traveling to the East Coast, and I couldn't make the show, but I saw you had a good show, and we left you right at the end when you wanted to show something, and we ran out of time. So I think you were working on an edit for something new you were doing?
Yeah, it was the cosplay, music, video kind of stuff where I'm doing at conventions and stuff, and it's already finished.
Do you have samples of that, or?
I have a sample from it. I can send you one.
Oh, sure. Do you want to send it or actually run it live?
I can send you.
Okay. Do you want to go single shot?
It's faster.
Put it on the single shot. So where was this where you shot the video and edited?
It was at the convention in Munich, the cosplay event.
Okay.
And I tried some new different things there, so I think it turned out pretty well.
Is that like a Comic-Con here?
It's something like that, but a little bit smaller. So I will show you soon. I will send you. I can send you. Wait a moment.
Jeff, have you ever been to a Comic-Con?
I haven't. I've never been one. I've seen things online, but I've never had the urge to get dressed up because I think that's part of that thing. It's not just
a lot of people
like
dress up, but over here it's like 200,000 people go. It's an enormous amount of people.
Here
we go.
Things.
That's good.
That was great.
I love the music.
It just amazes me the amount of effort people go to when they go to those things. Just all to detail. They don't just slap something on, and they just do a real good job. So you did a good job of capturing that, Christian.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, was that a live performance or was that a game?
How do you mean it exactly? It was.
It almost looks like it.
Conference.
It was in the conference, but was that from a game or was that actually a live performance?
No, this was not a live performance.
It was a game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one was it?
I don't know exactly right now the name of it.
It was really realistic. Very nice.
And just like did you have to take a lot of equipment there to film that, Christian, or was it just all on? Because it looked like you were doing a lot of good fancy shots, but did you have a lot of jibs or just all with the handheld camera?
Well, I did carry my gimbal with me, the MOZA Air, which I use. Also, I used a tripod mount, a monopod, which I attached to my gimbal, so I could get shots from higher ground, from the tree, like in the beginning, or from the door right above. So it looks like it was filmed from a drone.
That's why I asked, because I thought by the looks, it looks like one of those drone shots or a big jib shot. But I bet you're doing it with something else with a limited resources. But you did a good job at that, because you would have thought it was coming up from a high. So I've tried that, but it's very hard because it gets very weighty when you try to hold things up.
It's really hard.
High,
if you do it the whole day, it's really hard.
Now, the MOZA Air keeps getting really good reviews. Some people are saying it's one of the best gimbals out there. How do you like the MOZA?
I like it very much. There's also a second version out there, but it's really much heavier. That's why I decided to get the older one, and I think it's really, really great. The only thing they could update is the app, because sometimes if you see the battery status, it's not exactly correct. Sometimes it's a little bit lower, sometimes higher, but other than that, I'm really surprised that it's really good.
Now, where is the MOZA made?
I think it was made in China. It was made in China.
Also, I wasn't sure. Okay. Yeah, it's
pretty good. It's a Chinese company, and they do really great stuff right now.
That's great. I love, everybody always complains about things, but, the more vendors we have in the space, the better the competition, which we all benefit from. If we only had one vendor, if everybody was DJI, we'd be dead. It's like they're good, but it's nice to have that competition so that we have better. Hey, Jeff, did you know DJI was out of Hong Kong?
I didn't know it was out of Hong Kong, but no, I didn't.
Yeah, they are. I didn't know that either, but I guess they're headquartered there. That was interesting.
Yeah, well, I suppose now with a lot of the Chinese things, a lot of things are moving to the business thing, maybe to Hong Kong, and that's. I said, but don't mention the riots, or else they'll cut us off.
That's right. So I heard that you have your eyes on the Panasonic S1.
Yeah, I had my eyes on it, but I didn't buy it because the lenses are so expensive.
I know.
Right now.
I know. I mean, you can get cheaper lenses, but the Leica lenses are super expensive. I don't understand that partnership. It's a very limited amount of people that can pay $8,000 or $5,000 for a 50 millimeter lens. That's a lot of money.
And that's why I hope that Sigma makes cheaper lenses, because the lenses I use for my G9 are all Sigma lenses right now. My favorite lenses I use right now are only Sigma lenses.
Are you using Sigma with the adapter?
No, not with the adapter. I use the ones made for the G9, like the 30 millimeter 1.4 to 1.4 lenses. Yes.
Okay. I didn't realize they were making lenses for that. That's good to know. So they're making Micro Four Thirds mount right now.
Micro Four Thirds mount, yeah.
Oh, nice. I should take a look. The 30 millimeter I used to have when I had Sony, and it was a Sigma. That's a beautiful lens.
Also, I used the 19 millimeter lens for filming. The whole video was shot on the 90 millimeter from Sigma.
So now, do you get a crop with the Sigma? So you still get the 2 times crop, so it's about
You
a
get the
38
2 times,
millimeter.
but it's still a wide lens if you use the
Yeah.
19 millimeters.
So it becomes about
so
38 millimeters, right?
It's really a really beautiful lens, and it's really, really sharp. Also, the 19 millimeters is waterproof and dustproof, so
Nice.
Oh, good.
it's a great addition. The 30 millimeter isn't dustproof. That's the only downside, but it's one of my favorite lenses for portrait shoots.
Yeah, the 19 is autofocus, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those, and they're not that expensive. Maybe
No.
I think over here they're about $300, something like that.
Yeah, around 300. That's really
About
cheap.
300. Yeah, that's not a bad price for the. Jeff, if you ever want a good 30 millimeter or 19 millimeter, those Sigmas are incredible for the price.
Yeah, the Sigmas, they do an incredible job for the price difference that you pay from the Panasonics and the and the Canon lenses and that. They just make such a big difference. And you just say big dollars difference, but the quality, you're not dropping much. And in some cases,
No.
I can't see the difference between the higher priced lenses. So.
No, and now Panasonic makes a lot of the Leica lenses. They make them from the design by Leica, but then Panasonic produces them usually either in Japan or in China, and they're beautiful lenses too. One of my favorites, I don't know if you got this one yet, Jeff, but it was the Nocticron, the Panasonic Leica Nocticron f1.2. That's a great lens. That is what is that one? It is a 42.5 millimeter, which is in essence an 85 millimeter good portrait lens or even landscape.
Yes, I've been dying to get that one, but it's just a little bit too expensive
It's
for me
not
at the
cheap,
moment.
but they have
It is
sales on it.
expensive.
But it's,
Yeah, I got mine for $500 off on a sale. I went to
that's still maybe
Sammy's and
$1,600.
they had a sale for $500 off from $1,500. I went, oh, okay,
Oh,
great.
so that
I was going to
wasn't
pay the
too
whole
bad.
amount and didn't have to.
But that one isn't autofocus, right?
It is autofocus.
It is.
It is, and it's also it also has stabilization.
It's
It
really
has
awesome.
everything, that one.
It's a beautiful lens, and when you take pictures with that lens, it has a real look. You can tell it's different. It's just really a beautiful lens. The sharpness, the micro contrast, everything is very sharp. Really, one of my favorites. I keep hoping it doesn't break.
Yes, the thing
The-
I wouldn't mind. I don't mind buying it, but I've just got to get myself out there and do a bit more with the camera to justify
Yeah.
paying extra money for it. So
Yeah.
from what
Now,
I'm doing at the
one of
moment-
my favorite is we were just talking about this. I didn't bring my G9 in right now, but the small, I think was it 17 millimeter. If it's 17, the 17 millimeter Panasonic lens is only like about $350. It's got a rubber hood that you can pull off, and it's very small, so it makes the camera weigh nothing. It takes beautiful pictures. It does have autofocus. It's not stabilized, but it does have autofocus. But with the G9, it's really sharp and it's clean because the G9, again, it has its own stabilizer, and boy, does it work well. But that's 17 f1.7. That's an f1.7 lens. You can use that for almost anything, and it's really good in video too. It's not bad.
Somebody say something.
Jeff, say something.
It's always a thing because usually we always speak one after each other. So,
Yeah.
So if you had Christian, if you had all the money at your disposal, which lens would you just race out and get now if money wasn't an object?
I mean, for the micro four thirds, for my G9,
Or just whatever you would, if you said, I had this money, I've got unlimited funds, I'll just get this lens regardless of what format it is.
well, I would buy the S1, also get all the lenses for the S1.
All
So
the
I could shoot
lenses.
Everything I need.
That's
I
a lot of
thought you'd
lenses.
say that. Yeah, well, that's what I would do.
My favorite one would be the 50 millimeter for the S1, because I love the 50 millimeter
Yeah.
focal length, and it's a beautiful lens. I tried it out in the camera shop. They had the Panasonic was there, and we could try the camera out, and it's a beautiful lens.
Was that the Leica lens?
It was the Leica lens. Yeah.
Isn't that $4,000 or? something like that.
Yeah, it is something like that.
But it looks
It's
nice.
so-
I'm sure it looks beautiful.
But it's
the
too
sort of thing you
expensive. So
Yeah, that's a lot of
It's
money
the sort
for
of thing
it.
it's the sort of thing you're even scared to try it out, to hold it in the shop, so let alone own it and take it out where you might drop it yourself. So because they'd be watching you, very, very clear.
Wait, doesn't it make you nervous when you go to a camera store and they give you a lens and they're like this?
no, I'm
Just
not
waiting
nervous
for
at
you
all.
to drop it. What,
I
are you
think
guys
they might be
nervous?
nervous that I drop it, but I'm not nervous at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a lot of money. But
Yeah.
I like the lenses. I think they look nice, but I don't really think any lens is worth that much money. I mean, the glass is good, but is it really that much better? I don't think so. If you start looking at a camera, then you take the pictures, whether it's $4,000, a lot of times we've done some tests in here between, what was it? I think one was $1,000 lens, $1,000 Sigma versus a $200, $300. Oh no, it was actually the $200 Nifty 50. There wasn't much difference. It looked really about the same. So why do you really need to spend that much money?
Yeah, but the thing is as well, Rick, it's to me, it's got to do with what the artist or the person behind the lens is doing with it, and what's the audience like when they get the movies. They do things which are grungy, horrible looking, frosty look.
Yeah,
that's what they're going for.
Sure.
If you do the best, clearest lens that gets them up, sees a natter at 500 meters. Yeah, that's great, but it's not very viewable. It's not very nice.
No.
And to do that, and a lot of these things, you say, yeah, that's a little bit better, but it's when you've got 4 pictures together and you pick, like, I see a lot of these reviews that say, oh, this one, look at this, how much better. And I'm really trying to pick the difference between them. You can sort of see them, but it's only when it's pointed out to you that you notice it. But the majority of people, if you're doing like Christian, you've gone out to do that nice video, he's put it together, people won't notice if he put a different camera and it was slightly better. They're just saying how great the production is altogether, the music, the way he's composed the scene, the way he's moved the camera.
Yeah.
I think that's more important. That's what gets me more than the quality. Yes, I will see the quality if I say, gee, I can't see anybody, they're covered in shadows and all that, but that's a bit different. I don't think I would notice if you had a $5,000 lens on the camera or a $1,500 lens. I'd be taken aback by all the music and all the shots. That's what gets me.
By the way, Christian, the music you used on your video, that was good. At first, when you started playing it, I thought, oh, is that Adele? The piano
That
part.
was not Adele.
And then I heard, I couldn't tell who was the singer.
I exactly don't know because it's some independent singer. I got it from YouTube.
It was good.
Channel.
It was a nice. It was
I
a very
added
nice
it in the
track.
description, but I don't know the name yet.
Okay, that was a good track.
Also,
Yeah, it was
if we are talking about the lenses, nobody before asked me when I'm doing the videos or when I'm doing my photos what lens I use. Nobody asks me.
True.
No.
Yeah.
They only ask me how I did the shot, maybe how I did it, but not with what I did it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The only people
And I
who
think
ask me are also photographers who also are doing photos and videos, but normal people don't ask me at all. It doesn't
No,
matter.
normal people don't care. They lead happy lives, unlike us.
Even photographers or video makers don't ask me so often like before. Some years ago, maybe they asked more often because better cameras were coming out, but cameras are so good now, if the cheaper ones, so you don't notice so much difference.
I think that's the key point you just made. Today, all the cameras, no matter whether you hate a camera, love a camera, they're all really pretty good. It's hard to find something you say, what a piece of junk. They're usually pretty good. It's just a preference. Do you like Sony? Do you like Panasonic? Do you like Canon, Nikon, Olympus, or whatever else? And depending on what you like, you'll probably just shoot with that camera, regardless of how good something else is. Sony improvises a lot. They innovate a lot, but they're not the biggest selling cameras out there. Canon still sells more than everybody, and they don't improvise almost at all. So you just go. So it doesn't really matter sometimes. People are comfortable with what they like. I still like, that's the one thing that would stop me from buying the Panasonic S1. I might look at the S1H, but I'm not so sure because I don't want to spend the money on the lenses. And we already have good cameras, so we don't really need to go with that. And I'm not so sure that something like the S1H is going to be that much better than a GH5, a G9, or a GH5S. I'm just not so sure. Now, there are rumors that the GH6 is coming out soon. Have you heard anything about that in Germany?
No, I
Nothing
didn't
yet.
hear anything about it. I only heard about the S1H, so...
Yeah, and they haven't given many details on the S1H.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see if it's just another GH5 big. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
The only main difference is the sensor size for me. So
Right.
if you need it,
Yeah.
Like you
maybe
were saying before,
higher resolution filming. So,
Hmm.
but that's it for me.
Now, I still think
Lenses are still expensive for the camera.
yeah, real expensive. I still think the G9 is one of the best cameras you can buy as a hybrid shooter, and
For me, it's
really
the
for
best one.
photos, it's amazing. My wife keeps saying, "What's your favorite camera?" She goes, She goes, "I don't have to ask you." I go, "Why?" Because you take that camera. I take my G9 everywhere, and she goes, "How come you don't take the other ones?" Well, I like them too, but that G9 is just almost perfect, and it shoots beautifully.
I use it for everything.
And my
For
second
portraits,
camera
for
that I take
filming,
is
for
the
everything. That's why I
GH5.
love the G9 because you can use it for both.
Hmm.
Also, I use it today for a shooting, for a photo shoot, for cosplayer today. Also, it's like the same thing is with lighting because I bought new lighting gear for my G9.
Oh, what did you buy?
I bought from Godox the AD200. If you know
Yeah,
that
do you
one.
like the LEDs?
No, that's not LED. This is a flash, an external flash.
Oh, flash.
We have
Okay.
triggered. Because I had one from Godox before. A
Yes.
smaller one, you can attach it on the camera, but the new one is like 2 times stronger than the old one.
Do you
Because
have it on the camera or off?
Off the camera,
Off
because
the
you have
camera.
to trigger.
Yeah.
But the good thing about Godox is you can use both flashes at the same time.
Nice. Yeah.
And that's what I tried today, and it turned out really well. And I will upload some pictures soon on my page, on my Instagram page, my Facebook page,
Cool.
on my website.
Isn't it fun doing multiple flashes, especially when you put the separation of time between them and everything? It makes for interesting shots.
Yeah, I tried it today for some creative shots, and it turned out really well.
Yeah.
Because they're also really expensive flashes, like for 1,000, like with the lenses, but it doesn't make any difference for me.
Yeah.
Light is light, and that's it.
That is that. Are you still using Vegas to do your editing?
I still use it. I
Yeah.
love Vegas because it's simple to use, and you can.
It's pretty powerful. I use
It's
Vegas
powerful.
I still use it sometimes, but I used it for almost since it came out, 2001 or 2. I've been using Vegas for a long time, and it's one of my favorites. With Magix, they've done some good stuff to it. They've added some nice things, so hopefully they continue. I don't know how well they're selling, but I hope they continue doing it. And this made Jeff happy, but I'm getting back into Final Cut Pro too. I like Final Cut on the Mac. I even put a Mac on my desk now, so it's my old Mac too. I got to get a new one. So
yeah, but Final Cut's very, very good because it's easy enough to use, but it's also one of those ones if you want to get complicated, you can get some complicated things done, but very easily on it. So some people get a bit frightened from the different way it does things, but with each update of Premiere, they seem to be going more closer to Final Cut than the other way. Keep getting these things that they were always saying, oh, Premiere's much better doing this than Final Cut, then to take something from Final Cut and put it into there. So, but hey, they've both got different editing lines, and I quite like using both of them. Sometimes I like using Premiere because I like having just the rough and ready thing and being able to do it a bit quicker than I can in Final Cut.
You think Premiere's quicker?
It stops you from me.
You think Premiere's quicker than Final Cut to do?
Well, sometimes in some areas depends what you want to do. You know, if you want to do, I'll put something like what I wanted to do in one video shot. I wanted to time something to some music, and I wanted to have 50 shots 50 frames single shots in time to the music.
Yeah.
That was much easier to do in Premiere than it was in Final Cut.
Oh, really? Yeah. Final Cut isn't the best at audio. It's okay.
But what I find, for one of the things with Final Cut, their syncing has been fantastic compared to a lot of them. You can just say, here's a file, and like I just put 2 camera sources together, all that, so make a multi-camera clip, and it did it. So
just like that
together, and it just does it so well. All you have to do is make sure you got the sound, and as long as you got the sound, if you started the camera 5 minutes later, 3 minutes, doesn't matter. It puts it all together. You just have blank on the first camera if that was started later than the second one, and then it just, when it all comes together, and it's so easy. And then you just say 1, 2, 3, and you can put the whole thing on the timeline, and then still decide I want to have the second camera shot or the first. So
that's pretty good.
Really
now Vegas, which is what Christian and I have used for a long time. Vegas used to be one of the best because it had a lot of After Effects built into it, if you will. There's a lot of effects you can do without ever having to leave Vegas. And they were easy, and you could buy all sorts of effects for it. And there's Blue Titler, and Blue makes a lot of the effects, New Blue. And they were really good. It was really, the one thing I didn't like about Vegas, even from the beginning, publishing wasn't the best. I thought rendering could have been better. The quality of what you rendered isn't as good as some of the other ones, but it's not bad. It's gotten a lot better in the last, let's say, 2 years, 3 years. So do you find that too on the rendering part?
I think so too. It takes sometimes a long time. Sometimes it crashes for me.
Yeah.
And
it does? Mm.
Sometimes, but not often. Not often.
Yeah. Are you editing on a laptop or a desktop?
On the desktop.
Desktop, yeah.
Because I'm editing 4K 60p material, so that's why I'm editing on the desktop, because many laptops which are powerful enough are really expensive, and the desktop you can easily upgrade if you need something. So that's what I'm using.
Yeah, and it's great to have a powerful laptop that you can take around, but let's face it, most of the time when you're doing your editing, you are always at the one place, and it's always thinking, it'd be nice to sit on a park bench, but you want your desk, you want your big monitor, you want to be able to to do that, because no matter, you'd have to have a 50-inch laptop monitor to make it worthwhile. With this huge 50-inch
I'm also
laptop.
using a laptop sometimes, but only if I'm on the go, if I'm not at home, if I'm at some events and I need to edit quickly something, so that's why I bought my laptop. It's powerful, but not as powerful as my desktop.
Yeah.
The great thing about Vegas is that you can export your project file, and it saves all your videos, and you can export it to your desktop and keep editing there.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, because that's always a problem with doing the editing, is where taking all your files with you when you're on the road and that.
So Christian, what's new coming up for you? Any plans?
I'm planning to do a lot of more shoots in the next months. Also to do behind the scenes stuff, so I can upload something to my YouTube to show people how I'm shooting, to get more known for people. Because the last month I was only planning some shoots and everything, and I didn't do much shootings. But today I did one bigger shooting. Also, some photographer friend helped me to do the behind the scenes shooting. Also, I will have a shooting tomorrow again. I had a shooting 2 weeks ago.
That's great. It's fun to
because
shoot.
Because I have my new lighting gear from Godox, and also they sent me some free stuff to try out. And I can keep it, so
that's
really great. I'm really looking forward to use the new flashes, because I'm now really used to shoot with 2 flashes, because the results are really amazing. Because I shot before only with 1 flash, it was also great, but with 2 flashes you can do much, much more.
That's right. Harold, do you have Christian's Instagram?
Let's see.
What we'll do is next time we come on, we can put some links to your Instagram and show some of the pictures you've done.
And the pictures I did today, I will upload some of them in the next days, so you can see them also.
Okay,
because I'm trying to get some new locations people don't use normally. Because today I shot indoors in the location. Also, I used my LED light I tried it out how it works, and it worked really well because you can see how the shadows are looking right in the spot. You don't have to take the picture.
Yeah.
Christian,
I
believe
also
you,
I tried some colorful lights and stuff like that.
I believe
cool.
this is one you took with your new flash?
This is with my new flash, yeah. But I forgot my softbox with me. That's why I bounced the flash from the top. There was a wall on the top, and I bounced it up to make the light more soften, because it was really harsh when I shot directly to it.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a great picture, that. I just love just nice those straight lines and different changes. I love that sort of cut off, and it just really captures that really nicely. That does. Yeah, I wish as I said, I try and take pictures like that, but they just turned like really horrible. Not very good. But it's just amazing how just somebody talented like Christian can just get that shot, and it just looks really does look nice. But I think it's the same thing. I think your own pictures never look any good to yourself. I don't think. You think I might be okay?
But with my new flash, somehow, when I started using my new flash, I somehow feel that I like my pictures much more now, and that I really like my pictures right now.
Oh, that's good. That's great to know that.
Oh.
Hey, Christian was going to say something, Rick. Let him say it.
No, I'm done.
The music came on.
He's playing his music, I think. So that's sort
Oh no,
of the
that's our
indication.
time. We're at our 30-something minutes. So,
You know what this music sounds like?
what?
Sounds like the David Hasselhoff
Kind of, doesn't it?
Night
Yeah.
Rider. Was it Night Rider?
We got this on art list, but you're right. It definitely has that sort of sound. That's funny. Hey, David Hasselhoff was very famous in Germany.
And he was really famous.
Yeah, it's here he wasn't that nobody cared, but in Germany he was big
No, he was really big.
with his singing career and everything else. I remember that.
He was a funny guy.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, well, hey, Christian, we're glad you could make it on and share some of what you're doing with us today. We look forward to seeing you again soon, and good luck on the shoots. You know what? There's nothing more fun than doing shoots and going out. That is a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do.
It is fun, and none of us do it enough because we just don't have time sometimes. But we love doing it. Well, anyway, if you're watching the show, please subscribe. Take a look at Christian's channel, and we'll have links below in the show notes. We'll see you guys next week on Tech Down Over. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks.
Bye for
Bye.
now.